This is the 605 horsepower, 305 kph RS6 Performance. The elegant lines and the Audi badges make it look stately, so it'll work at the casino square. The other styling cues, however, they serve to communicate the pack in order. This guy isn't a captain or a consigliere. No, the RS6 Performance is clearly in the ranks of bosses.
The interior is just brilliant. It's an Audi, so people expect it to be brilliant. The carbon fiber trim in here, it looks very expensive, but at the same time it doesn't look like it's going to be driven by a 60-year-old. Of course, everything in here costs a pretty penny. The seats are $6,000, the roof lining is $2,000, the car costs $117 base. As it sits right here, it's 159,765 euros. All right. No brake boost, no nothing. The sort of acceleration you get from the RS6, it's just nuts. It's completely nuts. I still cannot believe you can buy a station wagon, a family car that goes like a supercar. It's not 550 horse, it's 605 horsepower and 700 Newton meters of torque, but in overboost, they give you 750, just for good measure. All right, let's drop it down to third here, and now let's just hammer it. Usually these cars, and that's the case with the RS6 if you don't have one of the dynamic packages, are limited to 155 mph, which is fast, but with this, it would be so frustrating all of the time because you just get up to 155 so quickly that you just want more. We're getting very close to hitting 300 kph, and there it is, 300 kph. And a huge red boat, carbon ceramics. I'm running low on gas again. Seriously? I've not even done 1,300 kilometers and I've refilled this like 5 times? I think 5 times. And each time it's like 60 liters, 65 liters, 55 liters. Driving fast in the RS6 is super expensive. I can tell you that much. The RS6 will put a smile on your face all of the time. You can access the performance so easily, and it's such a rush each time you do it. It's so fast, and a V8 motor these days is something a bit special, especially in Germany. The motor sound, or the soundtrack you have in here, for the most part is actually exhaust rather than motor. Which is sort of sad because V8 motor, man, V8s are supposed to sound great. And probably this unit does, but you plain and simple don't hear it in here. It's a good thing though that the exhaust sounds very, very good. With a car like this, it's not only traction and acceleration and cornering ability that's important. To me, for a luxury car, it needs to be very, very good at cruising. The stereo, the Bang & Olufsen, it costs $6,000, but it's a necessity. It makes driving so much more special. You can be sitting in traffic and still enjoy yourself. And I do love to just go for a good drive at night, just chill, drive around town, drive around wherever. I just enjoy that everything in here looks so good at night and you just feel so comfortable. And then whenever you want to, you have all of this power. You can go for a midnight Autobahn run. Dynamic Package Plus comes with ceramic brakes, dynamic steering, quattro sport differential, RS Sport suspension, meaning it's not air suspension any longer, but a proper steel spring damper setup. There have been very few situations where I've been like, yeah, that's the sport differential doing something. And that's because the limits of this car are just so sky high. I've not had the opportunity to actually drive this properly in the rain. Maybe then things change. It's 285 tires in all four corners, which means in the dry you have all of the traction, all of it. Even in a corner, it's just hammer on it, it's gonna be fine. The ceramic brakes. Oh my God, the ceramic brakes are good. It's a 2-ton vehicle, but on a B road, you'd never know. I mean, there is always the sense that you are driving around in half a boat, but in all actuality, you don't really feel it. It corners like something that is much, much lighter. I haven't gone through very many hairpins, then probably there is going to be quite a bit of understeer just because physics, and Audi is not going to beat physics. I have the sport steering here and there is not a thing wrong with it. It's actually very precise. Steering feels good. I've been going back and forth with the steering from dynamic to comfort. And all that dynamic really achieves is that it's stiffer. You do have some feedback in comfort, which just gets eliminated when you put it in dynamic mode. Why is it called dynamic mode then? The gearbox is a ZF 8-speed. It's a torque converter, but it shifts like a dual clutch. Shift. Yup, like a dual clutch, it's awesome. Oh yeah, the ref limiter is existent and it does not auto upshift when you hit the limiter. Kudos, Audi. The RS6, for all intents and purposes, is the rich man's Hellcat, isn't it? It must be. It's the same level of ridiculousness, but it's a wagon. Everything about this car is just nuts. Completely and utterly nuts. And I love it.
Okay, wait, hang on. How fast? 310 kilometers an hour?
It's nice, right?
That's nice. That's nuts, is what you're not saying. That's insane. I mean, look, we want you to go faster, these cars. We do. Yeah. We want you to do the Autobahn runs. But at the same time, I see you pass 300 and I just kind of sit there and go, this isn't really happening.
That's insane. I want to do 200, and here you are just super casual. I mean, I don't think anybody has been more casual about that kind of speed. And I want to go 200. Of course, 320 is the magic number, but you were at 310. I mean, let's call it that. Yeah.
Dude, first of all, understand though, for you it's 200 miles an hour, but 300 kph for me is the exact same thing, because it's this psychological thing where it's like, all right, there's a 3 in front, so that must be fast.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, so is that the fastest you've ever gone?
Yes, it is.
This is a wagon. And is this still for executives, or is it for the family man / executive?
The family that's really on the go.
Exactly.
Think Cayenne here for a second.
I guess.
It's essentially that, only faster.
Yeah, fair point.
Yikes. And at first I was thinking, all right, well, maybe it really is only for Germany, but then I think people would buy it in North America. I think the US, there's plenty of people that would buy this car.
So I actually do think that Hellcats and this car are more usable where he is than they are here. Because you have an opportunity to really get into the pedal and be like, let's just go fast for a bit.
I mean, Todd and I have talked about the Hellcat on the Autobahn forever. Of course, Dodge does not sell their products in Germany. This, I guess, is the next best thing. Yeah. I mean, better in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, and you can also like go to the tuners like Optus doing one where it's like 700 horse, so then it's essentially Hellcat numbers.
Because your RS6, the first thing you thought when you drove it is, this just needs more power.
Man, is this sluggish and slow? Could we fix that? I haven't paid enough for it yet.
Think back to the Gambala,
Oh, the Mistrale, their top end.
the Panamera, whatever it was. That was 700 horse, no?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
How was that to drive?
Unnecessary, but fun.
Unnecessary and
Unnecessary is the entire point.
Well, but I mean, I wish that wagons were more viable here as a consideration compared to an SUV, because you already kind of mentioned it. The car here, I think these cars would be overshadowed by fast SUVs, but I personally would rather have the wagon.
yeah. I mean, it's a ski car, it's an Autobahn car, it does everything. Family, groceries,
Supercar killer.
beat everybody off the line.
Honestly, though, I think all of this walks around a question that I'm curious about for Tom, and I don't feel like you can answer it yet because I don't want you to spoil it. But you have the Mustang next, right?
I do.
You've been so excited about the Mustang. What I want to know, this is kind of a German, I mean, it is a German muscle car with a wagon back.
Oh, yeah.
So the question I'm going to have for you next is, okay, would you take this German muscle car over the American muscle car, which, let's be honest, is cheaper and not as powerful?
The Mustang is more muscle car-y than the RS6.
Okay, all right, fair.
It's just because a muscle car, to me, materials, they just are not allowed to be too nice. If something gets too nice, not a muscle car anymore.
Interesting, okay.
That's a good comment. And certainly an aura or an attitude, I guess, surrounding it.
Dude, the Mustang has so much attitude, it has so much character, and I have yet to find a European car that can even come close.
Well, we look forward to that piece next. As always, thank you, and 310. 310?
We need to go back to Germany. We need to call Audi.
Or AMG now.
Or anybody, and
We've got to have a throwdown now.
yeah.
Well, as always, man, thank you for your great work.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you and see you later.